Hi, Alex here. I work in the financial services industry where it's quite an often situation when you have to deliberately look for candidates without any relevant experience while searching for new salespeople. The reasons for that may be either a limited budget or the lack of candidates in the location. At the same time, the specifics of our business supposes that it can take many weeks for a new employee without any industry experience to make their first quality call to a client. The technique of selling financial products is very complex. There's too much to learn and to be able to do in order to provide a proper consultation to a client and work with large investments. As a result, for the first several months, the business invests in the employee with no guarantee of ROI, because in my experience, from 30 to 40% of newcomers quit before their probation period ends. This raises a question: how can we speed up the process of adaptation of newcomers in order for them to start bringing value to the business as early as possible? Let me share my idea with you. The idea is for newcomers to engage in warming up leads. And by this I mean calling new clients in order to identify their needs, determine their ability to pay, and sell them a consultation with a more experienced colleague. This looks like the following. First step: a newcomer calls the lead and tells them that there's a variety of support services available for them, the goal of which is to make the customer experience as positive and profitable as possible. Next, the employee informs the client that they need to ask them several questions in order to develop an individual and the most suitable support program. And then the employee needs to get the confirmation from the client side that they are ready to answer these questions. This step is very important because if the client clearly understands their benefit from this dialogue, then their answers will be as open as possible. The third step is the questions themselves, which the employee needs to ask the client according to the pre-prepared questionnaire. The benefit of this approach is that the employee doesn't need to memorize the questions because they're just in front of their eyes, and they can record the client's answers in the questionnaire online. After completing the questionnaire, the employee thanks the client for the provided answers and informs them that an individual support program is going to be designed specifically for them, and then they'll receive a call from the best analyst of the team who is going to present the program to them. At this stage, a pre-sale of communication with the experienced colleague is conducted in order to create positive expectations on the client's side. And the final step of this sequence: the employee passes the completed questionnaire to an experienced colleague who, based on the information about the client, prepares several options for offers to the client and then calls them to close the deal with them. The idea of such a lead warm-up is that, based on its results, the experienced employees get, first, the clients who are ready to talk to them. Second, they can rely on the information collected about these clients in questionnaires. Third, they can prioritize their time by selecting the most promising clients to build communication with in the first place. As for the newcomers, they start communicating with clients much earlier, which helps them to loosen up and to start forming their skill of communication by phone. It is also very important that in this way they can begin to benefit the business almost from the very first days of their employment. But there's also one more important benefit. From the very beginning of their working sales, the newcomers start developing the habit of asking questions, which in my opinion is one of the key skills of any salesperson. Oddly enough, according to my experience, it's much more difficult to introduce this habit in an employee with experience. As for the main benefit, it's the benefit for you, the sales team leader. Along with being able to evaluate the performance of the newcomer earlier, you also get an additional tool for measuring conversions. For instance, let's say a newcomer processed 50 leads, out of which 30 showed their interest and completed the questionnaire. This is the first type of conversion which you will now be able to measure, from leads to completed questionnaires. Then these 30 customers were transferred to experienced colleagues for closing, and this is the second type of conversion for measuring, from completed questionnaires to closed deals. If the conversion rate from leads to completed questionnaires is too low, this may be a sign of a problem which may lie in either the quality of leads themselves or the quality of the newcomers' work. If you are not satisfied with the conversion rate from completed questionnaires to closed deals in one of the experienced employees, then you need to work with them. Being able to measure conversion rates at particular stages of the customer journey is a very important tool for a business manager. Use it wisely. Well, I hope my experience was useful for you. Thanks for watching.